Thank you, everyone. It's 7:31, and tonight is November 12th already. How did that happen? 2025. This is a regular Beverly Public School School Committee meeting. We are using a hybrid meeting approach this evening, which is allowed under the Acts of 2025 and its extensions. We appreciate greatly the assistance from BevCam for providing live streaming and broadcasting of our meeting this evening. It also allows for real-time public access as well as a recorded version later on for those who need it. Presently, we have 3 members in attendance in person, 4 members in attendance in person, and we have 1 member joining us remotely. I'm going to call the roll first, and then we will start with our Pledge of Allegiance. In person, we have Mayor Cahill.
Here.
We have Kim Coelho.
Here.
We have Jeffrey Silva.
Here.
Remotely, we have Lorinda Visnick. Here. And I am Rachel Abel. Okay, if I could ask Mr. Silva, or Dr. Silva, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance this evening, that would be great. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I appreciate that, Dr. Silva. Thank you. This evening, we have the great pleasure of recognizing some Beverly High School seniors. We have Svetlana Pizecki and Delia Gauker, who have been chosen to receive the Massachusetts Association of School Superintendents Certificates of Academic Excellence. And Dr. Cushing, would you please lead us in that presentation?
Absolutely. Thank you very much. So the Massachusetts Association of School Superintendents provides 2 certificates for schools to honor in the name of the Massachusetts Association of School Superintendents. The certificates read Certificate of Academic Excellence, issued to Svetlana Saki and Delia Guker, having duly qualified under the standards prescribed by the Massachusetts Association of School Superintendents, is hereby awarded this Certificate of Academic Excellence, in witness whereof the seal of the association and the signature of the Superintendent of Schools are hereunto affixed. The first, I'm sure, of many awards for our 2 recipients tonight. I'd like to call forward Svetlana at this time. If you just wait right here. And also Delia Kuker. I just want to say that having gotten to know Delia over these past few weeks and hopefully get to know Svetlana as we move forward, attaining high academic performance, also being involved beyond the classroom takes a lot of hard work, and oftentimes the stress and the burden of teenagers goes overlooked. And I think for many of us who have moved on beyond high school and other academic advancements, it's really important and critical to remember that high school students are shouldering a lot. And the fact that you both have been able to attain this just shows how you're able to manage your time, commit to academic excellence, and to really demonstrate awesomeness. So if we could just get a picture, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, the school committee will stand in recess for 3 minutes. Thank you. People were behind me, I swear. Mayor? Dr. Cushing? Kim? Okay, we will return to order. The time is 7:39. Thank you so much. Dr. Cushing, if you wanted to finish that off?
Yep. So I just also want to say that the agenda item says recognition of students, employees, and community members, and we'll definitely have some employees for formal recognitions next week at our meeting with some certificates coming from the state. But I just want to take a moment to say that students like Delia and Svetlana and so many of the others in our district don't achieve greatness alone. It's parents, caregivers, and especially our staff. Our staff who work dances, our staff who help support our clubs and sports and activities, whether they're teachers or administrators or paraprofessionals or custodians in the hallway giving a positive message. I think that too often we fail to take the time to recognize what our staff do on a daily basis. And having strung lights many times from many dances throughout the years, and even seeing last year on the night of my interview, it was great to be able to go upstairs and partake in a little bit of pizza and water with the bingo that was going on with the 5th grade. So those types of things aren't recognized enough. And I just want to say that I really appreciate our staff who work really hard to make sure that our students get the best possible experience and go the extra mile, no matter where they are in our district and what they do.
Thank you for those thoughts. Appreciate it. I was going to say, Delia, I think you had a hand in the Halloween party over at the high school a week or so ago, and I think I heard Dr. Cushing that was there to help set up as well, along with all those great staff members. So, thank you. It's now your turn on the agenda to give us a student representative report. So, Delia Gauker, take it away.
Thank you. Last week, BHS welcomed current Beverly 8th graders to learn about opportunities at the high school. This included academic departments, athletics, clubs, and performing arts. Fall sports teams are wrapping up their seasons now. Many teams are in playoff games and will soon hold end-of-season banquets. Spirit Week is coming up. There will be spirit themes every day for the week before Thanksgiving. There will also be a school-wide pep rally to cheer on the football team before their Thanksgiving game with Salem. Next Friday, the senior girls will take on Salem in the annual Powder Puff game. Practices have already started for Powder Puff, led by members of the football team. The Best Buddies Club had an exciting event in October, hosting a Thanksgiving dance for students of all abilities from Beverly, Danvers, and Marblehead. The Unified Basketball team also had an exciting end to their season with a winning record. Next month, the Stage Right Drama Club is putting on a production of Pride and Prejudice. They will have shows on December 5th, 6th, and 7th. Seniors are meeting to plan their REACH internships, and juniors and seniors still have the opportunity to attend college rep visits in the guidance office. And finally, the quarter ended last week, and first quarter report cards will be accessible on Friday. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And as always, we understand you have a lot of homework and probably college apps to get done. So if you need to skedaddle, we appreciate your attendance tonight. Thank you so much, Delia. Next on our agenda, the committee will entertain the approval of our meeting records from the 8th of October, 2025 school committee meeting.
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Dr. Silva.
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Coelho. Are there any edits or corrections that we'd like to note this evening? I'm just going to check the chat. That's okay. I don't hear any corrections. I do need to take a roll call vote because one of our members is remote. Mayor Cahill,
Yes.
Kim Coelho,
Yes.
Dr. Mackenzie DeFranza is absent, Karen Robinson is absent, Jeffrey Silva,
Yes.
Lorinda Visnick,
Yes.
and Rachel Abel, yes. The motion carries 5-0 with 2 absences. Next on our agenda is the time for an open forum for resident voice or input to agenda-related items. This is per policy BEDH, Bravo Echo Delta Hilo. Hotel. Any opportunity to speak about a topic that is or is not included as part of the agenda. Any person wishing to make a request should arrive at the posted meeting time in person or email residentvoice@beverlyschools.org in advance of the meeting for an alternate accommodation. Note, public comment is not a discussion, debate, or dialogue between individuals and the school committee. It is an individual's opportunity to express an opinion on issues within the school committee's authority. Remarks are addressed through the chair, who may refer the item to the superintendent for future considerations. And as is typically the case and per our policy, please limit your remarks to 3 minutes or less. It looks like we have first Emily Contos. And you just need to press the button once to turn the microphone green so our friends at BevCam can pick us up.
Hello, does this, okay, all right. Good evening, my name is Emily Contos. I live at 7 Juniper Valley Court, and I'm the parent of 2 Beverly Middle School students, as well as a senior at the high school. I'm here tonight to ask the school committee to take the next step in living out the promises of the resolution to support our LGBTQIA students that you passed on February 12th, 2025, by creating an LGBTQIA plus parent advisory council. Similar to the CPAC that supports families and students receiving special education services. You all know my son. He bravely came to speak to you last February, and he is once again here to ask for equal protections that he and his sister deserve at school. They have not only witnessed, but have been the direct target of relentless anti-trans bullying. The emotional toll has been devastating. Abbott no longer feels safe going to school. His mental health has plummeted, and he has backed away from activities that he once enjoyed. When your resolution declared that hate has no home in our schools, it gave families like mine hope. It affirmed that Beverly is committed to dignity, belonging, and safety for every student. But hope isn't enough when hate is still walking our hallways. It's time to act. Right now, school and district leaders are trying to respond, but they've expressed uncertainty about what supports or systems could truly help curb the hate. Parents like me are living this reality every day, and we want to be part of the solution. That's exactly what an LGBTQIA Parent Advisory Council could do. It will create a structured, ongoing partnership between families and the district to inform policy, support inclusion efforts, and ensure that every student and educator feels that they belong. CPAC has shown us that when parents and schools collaborate, we can make meaningful progress. Let's extend that same model of partnership to support LGBTQIA students and their families. Families who right now are struggling to keep their children safe and alive. You've already declared Beverly Public Schools a safe space. This council would be how we make that declaration real through listening, collaboration, and shared accountability. Please act now to ensure that every child in Beverly can walk into their school knowing they belong. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The next speaker is Abbott Contos. If you would just restate your name and address for the record, that would be great.
Hello, my name is Abbott Contos, and I live at 7 Juniper Valley Court. Last February, I sat here and asked you to pass a resolution to protect LGBTQIA plus students and staff. And you did. That meant a lot to me. It felt like people were really listening. But I'm here again tonight to ask you for more. This past year has been really hard. The rise in anti-trans bullying at Beverly Middle School hasn't just hurt me. It's broken parts of me. Almost every day someone tries to out me or says something awful about other trans students. Every time it happens, it chips away at my ability to just be me. When I spoke last February, I told you I was scared. Scared of being bullied, scared of losing my health care, scared of losing my rights. I wish I could tell you things have gotten better, but they didn't. and a lot of those fears have come true. I don't feel safe at school anymore. I can't focus because I'm constantly waiting for the next comment, the next whisper, the next person who decides I don't belong. I used to love school. I used to wake up excited to go. Now I wake up with dread. My parents want me to transfer to or find a school where I'll be safe and happy. But I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave my friends, my favorite teachers, or my twin sister. Why do I have to be the one to give up something else when I already lost so much just for being myself? I'm asking you to once again make a public commitment to my community. I know creating an LGBTQIA plus parent advisory council won't fix everything right away, but it's a start. It's a sign that Beverly leaders care enough to act, to listen, and to show that hate has no place in our schools or in our community. Please help make sure that kids like me can stop being scared and start feeling like we truly belong. Thank you.
Thank you, Abbott. I think the next name is Jayla Utra? Oh, it's an N? Utna? Okay, thanks.
My name is Shayla Udna. I live at 14 Mechanic Street. Good evening, members of the school committee and Superintendent Cushing. My name is Shayla Udna. I'm a proud and recent graduate of Beverly High School. I'm here tonight not to complain, but sound an alarm. I'm speaking on behalf of students at Beverly who are still at our schools, whose safety and education are being compressed by a culture of dismissal that I experienced firsthand. Throughout my time at BHS, I've experienced and witnessed a constant failure to protect students' physical and emotional well-being. This wasn't just bullying in the hallways. This was staff creating environments of verbal abuse, physical neglect, and school-sanctioned programs, and discrimination against students with disabilities. When your staff creates unsafe environments, where are students supposed to turn? Even more alarming is the failure for staff to follow the law. I personally brought credible, documented evidence of student abuse and neglect directly to BHS administration. When students summon the courage to report harassment, abuse, and neglect, and are met with inaction or told they are the problem, we teach them a horrible lesson that their voice does not matter and their safety is not a priority. This isn't just one or bad two lesson plans. It's about a culture where students' safety and well-being is secondary to protecting the republic of an institution. This culture engages the students who are sitting in our classrooms right now. Internal reviews are not enough when the internal system is the one that failed. Trust has been broken, and the trust must be earned back by transparency and accountability. Therefore, I formally request that the board authorizes an independent third-party investigation into the student safety and mandated reporting policies and practices at Beverly High School. We need an outside investigator to review these incidences, interview students and staff without fear of relation, and provide the district with unbiased recommendations. Please act on this request and show the district that when they speak up, you will not just listen, you will act. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Jayla. The next person who has signed up is Chris Melanson.
Has the 3-minute policy been reviewed yet? All right. First off, Abbott, those were tremendously powerful, courageous, beautiful words. And I just want to make sure that you know that. Like, I'm extremely touched by those. And we all need to do better. Thank you for those. God, sorry for a loop, Abbott. My name's Chris Melanson, 6th grade teacher at Beverly Middle School. Tonight, I want to shine a spotlight on a positive moment I did not see highlighted in the public until Dr. Cushing over here, looks like you read my mind, something that showed strength, creativity, and school spirit. In October, BMS hosted one of the most positive, creative, joyful events that we have each year. It's the Boo Bash. More than 600 students came through the doors in costume, full of preteen energy and ready to boogie down with an amazing and novice DJ over here. It was one of those nights that reminded me what a strong school community can feel like. In years past, I have taken a lead role in organizing this event. This year, I stepped back quite a bit, and what I witnessed was inspiring. I watched our teachers collaborate with care, creativity, and intention. I watched colleagues pour their personal time and their hearts into planning an event that was joyful, safe, and truly meaningful for our students. Our PTO, which is newly organized this year, was outstanding to work with. They carried themselves with confidence, warmth, and a spirit of partnership that made it feel like they had been doing this for years. So to our parents, caregivers, administrators who volunteered their time and presence, thank you. This was a night that celebrated our kids, strengthened relationships, and showed what we can build together when we do it together. I also want to name something important. Our middle school is often talked about at all levels of city government as difficult and challenging, and it is on many levels. Yet nights like the Boo Bash show another truth. Events like this create belonging. They create joy. They create pride. They have students running into the building, not out of it. And our principal, Mrs. Oliver, says that often, and this night made it real in the best way. And it mattered in a practical way, too. Together, we raised over $11,000, folks, for our Nature's Classroom Fund. Nature's Classroom is on the agenda tonight, from what I believe, and it's a tradition that shapes the memories of every student that goes for their lives. I sincerely hope that we continue to support it. I also wanted to briefly touch upon the rest of the school year and into next year. I want to speak briefly about staffing at the middle school. Our building is large, our students are diverse in their needs, their abilities, and their experiences. Our teachers, specialists, counselors, and support staff work hard every day to create structure, belonging, and academic challenge. I am deeply proud of the work that we do. At the same time, we're seeing the strain that comes with staffing is stretched thin. Coverage has become a daily concern. Intervention support for students who need it is not always available in consistent ways we know are effective. Teachers are absorbing more responsibilities to fill gaps. These are dedicated professionals who will always do what is needed. But we also need to recognize what is sustainable and what's not. I understand that next year's budgeting process will be difficult. I understand that every department and every building will be looking closely at how resources are allocated. My hope is simply that our middle school is a part of these conversations early with clarity and intention. Our students are at a pivotal stage of academic, social, and emotional development. When we invest here, we prevent larger challenges later. We build confidence, stability, and momentum for high school and beyond. Please start to think about the following questions. I hear the bell. Just going to say the first three. Is that okay?
Yep.
Are we comfortable with unfilled positions in November? Have you considered BMS being understaffed? Is it an equitable distribution of Unit A and C educators to the student populations in other buildings and grade levels and compared to the state? And how do we attract more substitutes? I understand we raised the rates, but BMS is a unique place. How are we creating promotion for working here? I have more questions. That timer is so darn fast. I will send it to all of you. Thank you for your time and understanding. And again, Abbott, that was amazing. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Melanson. Next on our sign-up is Cassie Ruel.
Good evening. My name is Cassie Ruel. I'm a lifelong resident of Beverly and the parent of a regular education high school student and a special education preschool student. On October 3rd, I was notified that a staff member had made significantly inappropriate remarks to or about my child in his presence. I was not told exactly what was said, and to this day still haven't been given the full details, but the comments were serious enough that that staff member was placed on an immediate leave pending investigation. That investigation was later substantiated, and I learned that the paraprofessional who had worked closely with my son since he started at McEwen last year had made comments, and I quote, including but not limited to statements about his sexual orientation. My child is 4 years old. He's barely out of diapers. The perception of his sexual orientation was based on his choice of clothing and accessories. That day, he wore his favorite pink tie-dye Disney Princess t-shirt. As you can imagine, I went through many emotions after receiving that call. At first, I was shocked. I believed my children were safe in Beverly schools. I never questioned my decision to let my son be who he is and wear what he wants. Then I was angry. I was deeply angry. I wanted to call the news, post on social media, and expose this person who felt comfortable making such hateful remarks about my sweet boy. That anger grew when I realized that the teachers union, a union that I had spoken in support of before this very committee last year, was standing behind this person. But through this painful experience, I met some truly inspiring people, parents and advocates who have faced similar situations. They encouraged me to channel my anger into something constructive, something that could create change. I learned that districts like Worcester and Sudbury have created LGBTQIA+ parent advisory councils. In response to this incident, one that is not isolated, I am advocating for the formation of an LGBTQIA+ PAC here in Beverly. Such a council would serve as a dedicated space to increase engagement, foster understanding, and provide feedback to improve the experiences of LGBTQIA+ students, their caregivers, and families. This initiative aims to ensure that all students, regardless of their gender expression or identity, can learn in a safe, supportive, and affirming environment. I have to believe that Beverly is not a city of hate, that most of us value inclusion and compassion. I started a petition in support of forming this PAC 2 weeks ago, and more than 350 people have signed it to date. I learned I'm not alone. Many in our community are ready to stand up, speak out, and ensure that hate has no place in our schools. So tonight, I'm asking this committee to vote on and endorse the establishment of this PAC, following the model used in the special education PACs mandated in every district across this state. These special education PACs have demonstrated success. By implementing a similar framework, we can specifically address the unique challenges faced by the LGBTQIA+ community in our schools, ultimately fostering a safer, more inclusive educational experience. Every child deserves to feel seen and celebrated for who they are, and our schools should be safe for all.
Thank you so much. And the last sign up is from Brad Willenbrock. If you would state your name and address for the record and limit your remarks to 3 minutes. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Brad Willenbrock. My pronouns are he and him, and I live at 5 Clifford Ave in Beverly. I was going to speak tonight and focus mostly on special education, but I feel like after what I've heard here, I want to shift to another marginalized group, the LGBTQ+ community. It's our number one goal as educators and as a school district to make sure that our students are feeling welcome. And not just welcome, but celebrated. We as educators focus heavily on the academic side of learning, and what I want us to be shifting to is making sure that we're really nurturing the whole child. The nation is in turmoil right now around the issues of marginalization, and especially when it comes to trans rights. And as we heard today, no matter how hard we work in this district, and I know we are ahead of the curve in this district, there's still so much work to do to make sure that our students feel safe and loved and welcomed, so that they can be as productive as they want to be and can be in our classrooms, filled with amazing educators and amazing support staff who are there for the right reasons. Therefore, I am going to recommend a couple of things. The first is to make sure that we are emphasizing professional development that focuses on not just LGBTQ+ rights, but really the whole child. The other is making sure that we try to do some sort of climate and culture audit which focuses on student voice and how students are really feeling in our schools. And bring that data back and form a subcommittee of the parent PACs and others who are interested in students to really try to dive into what we can do as a community to make sure that we continue to be the leaders in this area. Because I feel like once we get to really see a whole child flourish with who they are and them just being in our classroom, the angst really becomes a moment of celebration for them and their families and for our community. So I hope we can continue to work towards that in this year and the years ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Those were the signups. I just want to ask the audience if there was anyone else that intended to sign up. And I believe that's Mr. Mike Collins. If you could state your name and address for the record, that'd be great. Thanks.
Still on? Yes. Hi, I'm Mike Collins. I live at 67 Lovett Street. I hadn't prepared, I didn't intend to speak. So over the past year, I'm sure my face or my voice has become familiar to a lot of you in one way or another, either good or bad. But I like to think that regardless, that I have shown that when I put myself into something, it's all of me. And anybody that watches me work would agree. When I hear that my students feel unsafe or dread coming to school, the all of me that I've put in, it's not enough. I need help. We need help. When I hear about our LGBTQIA students and the struggles that they deal with, and I hear about it daily, it's not that we're ignoring it. Daily, myself, other staff, counselors, administration, it's constant. But we don't have enough. I don't know what else to do, but I know that I will continue to give myself and every part of me to this. But please, we need more. We need help. I haven't always been what I would consider an ally. But this journey that I've been on with the help of students like Abbott, there's nothing more important to me as an educator, as a person, than this fight. So with that, I'm going to leave you with the words from my hero. Do good, God bless, and go Bills. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Collins. Last opportunity for our public opportunity. Our next opportunity will be at our first meeting in December. Thank you. We now have items by consensus. These are listed on our agenda, items A, B, C, and D, warrants that are numbered and their amounts listed. I will entertain a motion to approve as a collective.
Second.
Who's the motion? I didn't hear the motion.
Oh, I thought you said you had the motion.
Oh.
I'll make the motion.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Robinson and Ms. Coelho. Generally don't have discussion. We do need to take a roll call since one member is remote. Mayor Cahill?
Yes.
Kim Coelho?
Yes.
Karen Robinson?
Yes.
Jeffrey Silva?
Yes.
Lorinda Visnick? And Rachel Abel? Yes, 6-0. 8:08 p.m. Thank you very much. Next, we are shifting gears over to our superintendent report, and it looks like we have a number of items to discuss. Dr. Cushing, the floor is yours.
We do, thank you. Prior to Just give me 1 second here. I apologize because I opened up another window that changed. So this past week, as the community knows, I now send out a weekly update for the community. Sometimes they're short. More often than not lately, they've been rather lengthy to address some issues that we're seeing in our schools and to really bring forward attention. As multiple individuals of the community tonight addressed concerning issues of hate, ignorance, and as one person in the community recently who found out that I was the superintendent here said, well, I just hope that you will make sure that people know there are only two genders. And I said, I'm sorry, but I'm fundamentally going to have to disagree with you on that. And I understand that this may be a challenging issue for some people to wrap their heads around. However, as a career educator, it is not a challenging thing for me to wrap my head around. And I'm going to do something I don't normally do, but I'm going to actually read the shared opening from this past week's update so that it is formally on the record. And for anybody who would like to criticize me or speak contrary, they will have my words directly emblazoned on YouTube for all eternity. The bottom line is that civil rights in this country has been something that is for those in power, all right? And as civil rights has been expanded over the years, it has oftentimes, especially for those communities, especially black and brown, low socioeconomic, LGBTQIA, and anyone else I may be missing, all right? Civil rights has been a battle that has to be fought. And unfortunately, the reality is that those civil rights are people's fundamental human rights. And in 2025 and 2024, I am still stunned that we as a nation are turning our aggression on ourselves and on a population of people who represent probably 0.1% of 1%. People who should have our support, who should have our love, and instead we choose to use our hatred. I try to be very apolitical, but the national conversation that is being led is really concerning. And I have a responsibility. So this is where I will start reading. As the superintendent of schools, I have the responsibility to work with our principals, our teachers, and other staff, our parents and caregivers, and to build bridges to our community in order to guarantee that every student feels supported. Regardless of the color of your skin, how much money your family makes, whether you live in a mansion or a third-floor walk-up, we have an obligation to provide for the safety and security of each of our students. Under selected general laws of the Commonwealth that went into effect on July 1st, 2012, several Massachusetts statutes prohibiting discrimination were changed on the basis of specified categories to include discrimination on the basis of gender identity. And then I link in there, General Law, Chapter 76, Section 5, was amended to explicitly prohibit discrimination on the basis of gender identity against students who enroll in or attend the public schools. Sorry, I just need to make it a little bit bigger as my aging eyes. Every person shall have a right to attend the public schools in the town where they actually reside, subject to the following section. No school committee is required to enroll a person who does not actually reside in the town unless said enrollment is authorized by law or by the school committee. Any person who violates or assists in the violation of this provision may be required to remit full restitution to the town of the improperly attended public schools. No person shall be excluded from or discriminated against in admission to a public school of any town or in obtaining the advantages, privileges, and courses of study of such public school on account of race, color, sex, bolded by me, gender identity, religion, national origin, or sexual orientation. The national conversation concerning LGBTQIA plus individuals has taken a negative turn, and for our gender nonconforming youth, the hostility has reached a pinnacle over the past several months. The Beverly School Committee has gone above and beyond the laws of the Commonwealth. At the Beverly School Committee meeting on February 12, 2025, the body passed the resolution to support our lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, questioning LGBTQ plus students, and linked the full text of the resolution for anyone who may have missed it. Our schools must be free of hate and must serve as incubators of compassion, love, understanding, and allyship for LGBTQIA plus students and staff. In particular, transgender youth are at significantly higher risk for self-harm or worse. Our first mission is to provide for the safety and security of our students and staff. Therefore, we commit to affirm and support our LGBTQIA plus students, staff, parents, caregivers, and families, ensuring that all members of our school community feel safe, respected, and valued. Provide curriculum that reflects diverse identities and experiences, including age-appropriate instruction about identity, gender, and sexual orientation, consistent with Massachusetts state standards and the Massachusetts Comprehensive Health Framework linked herein. Offer comprehensive developmentally appropriate health and wellness education linked that includes comprehensive information for students of all identities. Ensure access to gender-neutral restrooms at our school sites to promote safety and inclusion. Support student-led organizations, including gender and sexuality alliances, GSAs, in our middle and high schools, and rainbow clubs in our elementary schools to foster peer support and advocacy. Provide ongoing professional development for educators and administrators focused on LGBTQIA plus students, including understanding gender identity, sexual orientation, and the respectful use of students' affirmed names and pronouns. What I failed to link in here, but will, is in 2012 or 2013, the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education published a excellent guidebook. I think it is linked in here, but not as clearly as I would like it to be. But it provides vignettes, it provides quality resources for staff to really think about all aspects of how gender identity may show itself in school sports, in school activities, in locker rooms, in bathrooms, and how best to support our youth. The bottom line is that we have our work to do to make sure that our students feel supported. And similar to our past, where civil rights were won, they weren't just won easily, they were fought for. And the hate that people have may have gone to other quarters, but mostly the hate is not visible as it is towards our trans youth. And comments that are inappropriate and perhaps unintended due to ignorance, we have to work comprehensively as a staff to make sure that we're supporting our youth. I don't say this without realizing that this may upset many members of the community, the Commonwealth, the nation. But the bottom line is my responsibility and my obligation as the superintendent of schools for the students of Beverly and those students who choose to come here under school choice, all right, is to make sure that they are protected. And as I said in my interview, to put myself in harm's way for them. We have partnered with the Safe Schools program out of DESE and the director, Jason Wheeler. When these issues came to light, a well-developed program that Ms. Brown and our professional development committee had built, I made executive pivot decisions to make sure that we had Jason Wheeler come and present to staff as a breakout session. When I went to that classroom, it was full with about 30 educators looking to learn more. We also, in light of recent violence that affected a student of ours at the high school, gun violence, which I once again implore Beverly residents to take up that mantle of at least safe storage for firearms, that was in one of my first memos, because the gun violence in our nation is too much. Broadly speaking, we do more to protect the rights of owners than the rights of students and staff to live out their days learning and being educated. This is probably why I don't speak off the cuff a lot. So the reality is that our obligation, all right, we brought in Hawk to speak to staff. The first session only had about 5 people. The next session had close to 40 or 50, and we had to move it to the cafeteria. So what we did was we pivoted, we saw the problems, and we will continue to find ways to address, to educate, and to make sure that our students are protected. I can't apologize to Abbott and other students enough, or to say I am so disappointed that you don't feel safe here. And I am so sad that any student doesn't feel safe here. I will take a comprehensive look at the issues that were mentioned by the graduate of Beverly High School and make sure that we are reviewing and moving forward to make sure that issues are addressed. On this November 12th, as opposed to February 12th when the resolution was passed, and on the eve of Transgender Awareness Week, I really hope that the people who will listen to this understand that what we're talking about isn't necessarily what a child chooses to wear or not. It's about their health, their safety, and their ability to pursue their life as they choose, to be educated and to be a part of a society that, you know, out of many comes one. And unfortunately, when we target and we aggress on our own, we're not achieving the goals that we have set forward, both as a school and as a nation. So to Abbott and to anyone else, to Cassie, I'm sorry that we have failed to protect your children in the way that all children should be protected. And I'm working with Jason Wheeler to try to find the best path forward to say that, to not just say that hate has no place here, but to build resiliency in our students so that they feel comfortable to say, I'm sorry, we don't talk like that here. We don't act like that here. And if any part of this school community or board or anyone disagrees, feel free to come and meet with me. And I will work with you to hopefully shape your understanding to realize that our children deserve unconditional love, acceptance, and support. So I was going to talk about our competency determination and a little bit about the other things that happened on the professional development day. So I'll transition to that now. Yep.
Mary Kay.
Thanks, Madam President. So I think, I thank you, Dr. Cushing, very much. In terms of how we work here as a committee, right? We're meeting again next Wednesday. We typically meet the second and fourth Wednesday, but the fourth Wednesday is the night before Thanksgiving. So we're meeting a week from tonight. Dr. Cushing, I'm wondering, as I was listening to the speakers and the request for a committee, whether there are models, I don't mean a CPAC model, but other LGBTQIA plus parent advisory committees to look to, wondering if we might ask you to come back and we put something on the agenda next week where we can discuss the request. And maybe you can do a little bit of research in the meantime. It certainly seems like a worthy effort. And I remember we talked about this a while back in terms of creating committees. I'm not even sure structurally if we're supposed to vote to create them or if they come from the superintendent. But I would like to, have an agenda item next week where we kind of delve into all that. Does that make sense?
Yes. As Ms. Ruel mentioned, my research has shown that there are presently 2 of these types of PACs operating in the state. I do want to say one thing I would appreciate is if we're not just parents and caregivers, if we could involve at least our high school students, maybe some middle school representatives, to really make sure that we are hearing the student voice as well. But right now, the only two that I'm aware of in the state are Sudbury and Worcester, as Ms. Ruel also mentioned.
Right, and CPAC is under Mass General Law, an organization, so we have flexibility for either a school committee designated or superintendent designated subcommittee.
Next week's agenda?
It will be on next week's agenda.
So good, thank you.
I do also want to just, if there's anyone else who has anything else to say, I apologize. I defer through the chair.
Ms. Visnick, was there anything you wanted to add? I can't see your hand.
Thank you for asking, almost.
Okay, thanks. Ms. Robinson.
I just want to thank you, Dr. Cushing, for your brave and really important words, and you can speak off the cuff anytime. I think that was
Well,
I think that was really important for everybody to hear.
The bravery really goes to Abbott and Cassie, Ms. Ruel, sorry, first name basis. But the reality is that it's for our trans youth, our LGBTQIA plus youth, who are living out their reality. And I'll second what Michael said. I have definitely not always been an ally. It's no secret that I went to an all-boys school in the area. And, you know, growing up, probably said some things in jest or not that I now look back on and regret. And I've had friends of mine who are gay and that we frequently vacation with in Provincetown who have been really good at calling me in and helping to change my perspective and behavior. And being an ally isn't just about putting your arm around someone. It's about looking inward and saying, what do you need to change to really support someone? So I don't sit here and speak from a point of a white robe. My robe definitely has lots of stains in my past, and moving forward to be a better person, you know, make sure that, you know, you're rooting out those toxic traits from the past. So. All right, so, all right. On our Professional Development Day, if I could speak now, in addition to our two keynote speakers, we had 22 staff members who stepped up and gave presentations, some to groups of one or two, and some to fully packed rooms. Unfortunately, because of the setup of the day, I was only able to really get into the Jason Wheeler presentation for Safe Schools and the Hawk Healing Abuse Working for Change demonstration, as well as the two sessions on AI. We had Greg Kowalczyk, I said his name right? Kuliak. Present in the morning on kind of the acceleration of AI. And then we had Kerry Gallagher, who is the education coordinator for connectsafely.org. I've also referenced that in my memos. Speaking about the, oftentimes people will speak about child pornography. Pornography indicates that somebody had a willing choice. Children cannot make that choice. And so the appropriate term is actually child sexually exploitive materials, CSEM. So she spent some time on that and how AI can be used in that manner. I think she gave an eye-opening talk to many of our staff, two staff here. Perhaps they can agree with me. Interestingly enough, this past Monday, in a news lead that was buried on the Boston Globe for some reason, the Massachusetts State Police, in connection with several district attorney's offices across the state, executed Operation Firewall. Operation Firewall targeted and arrested 55 males and 1 female for participating in the production, distribution, and possession of child sexually explicit materials. When I speak to parents through my messages about the scourge, sorry, but the scourge that that these devices are, I frequently tell people individually that I feel like they should be regulated like drugs, alcohol, and pornography, because it gives children unfettered access to a world that parents have no idea how deep it can go. And if you do know how deep it can go, then your children probably don't have a device. The reality is that every time an image is shared, it forever damages that child again and again and again. And it is interesting to note that the state police and these district attorneys and local police made a coordinated effort over a very quick period of time to make sure that these people did not escape the snare of the law. I once again implore parents to make sure that you are knowing what is going on your child's device, and as best as possible, withholding said devices from your children as best as possible. I'm not your parent. I'm not your advisor in this, and having 3 children, I know how challenging it can be when my friend has a device and I want one. So don't think I'm immune to that. All right. All right, Boo Bash was already mentioned really well. Wanted to mention it again, but just I was sad I couldn't make it as I was at hockey practice with my own daughter on that Friday night. And I want to take a moment to discuss the competency determination just briefly. So I will hand out to you a hard copy. This will be on the agenda for next week. The Commonwealth of Massachusetts Department of Elementary and Secondary Education has mandated that competency determination needed to be looked at once again. This was thought to have been settled last year, but Principal Thomas and his team, as well as members of central office, have reviewed this at great length. We look forward to future readings and hopefully final approval on or before the second December meeting this year, so we can meet the deadline of December 31st to submit to the Commonwealth. We will hand these out to you just as soon as I'm done speaking and through my full report, but a hard copy, and we will email as well to make sure that you have this with enough time to review and have discussion on next week. All right, on to the actual slate of affairs. So the overnight field trip for Nature's Classroom, I'd like to invite through the chair, Mr. Twombly, to speak, and I will share his slides. Just give me a second, Mr. Twombly, to pull them up and share them. And it appears that Mr. Twombly is frozen. All right. So I will, Mr. Twombly, I saw you move.
I think we're having a little problem with BevCam. We might be having a little problem with BevCam. Yeah, that doesn't work either.
All right. The gremlins have returned. All right. Mr. Twombly, if you have the chance, feel free to hop in at any time, but let me just actually share my screen. All right, so Nature Classroom is a 6th grade experience where our students will travel. Trip 1 is April 13th to the 17th, pre-vacation, and Trip 2 is April 27th to May 1st. It's in Charlton, Massachusetts, out along the Mass Pike. So several learning outcomes for our students are a nature-based experiential education, disconnecting from technology. This is a tough one for a lot of parents and caregivers. I understand that. But in order to really connect with the program, setting down the devices is really critical. I once was on a trip to Washington, D.C. with sophomores, and we did not impose this, and it was horrifying to see students moving through not Beverly students, it was horrifying, though, to see students moving through the National Holocaust Museum while simply looking down at their devices. Not many, but enough to make it so that this became part of, and this pre-exists me as the superintendent in schools here, but as a principal, these trips are usually phone-free. Practical hands-on outdoor learning, building confidence through exciting challenges, forging new social connections and collaborative learning, and teaching kids to care for the environment. So sixth grade standards are covered through field groups, elective classes, and evening activities. We have a sample schedule here. All right, with a Monday arrival and Friday departure. The food is all prepared on site. Students with any allergy concerns are always taken into consideration and planned for specially. We would like to see as many students go as possible. And so what is the plan for students who do not attend? There'll be outdoor learning experiences. There'll be special programs. Curious Creatures have been brought in the past. Local field trips, project-based learning activities, and engaging science experiments. So program costs. I know that the cost is going up. So anyone who wants to go can go. So to anyone listening, I'm just saying, we will take donations or scholarships to support our students. Mr. Melanson mentioned the money raised for our students through the Boo Bash. But this year, the cost will be $479 per student. Last year, nearly 230 students participated. The current price, the price last year was $420 per student. And so modest adjustment is needed. I know that price doesn't align with the $479. So I just want to, Oh, perfect. He can speak now. Perfect. Take it over, Mr. Twombly.
Thank you, Dr. Cook. I hope everyone can hear me. A couple things, if we go a couple slides back, and Dr. Cushing mentioned it. This disconnecting from technology, I think, is a huge piece for us. We've been going, Beverly's been going to Nature's Classroom for over 30 years. I think we're the oldest running district that attends Nature's Classroom. And I've been there for 5 years so far with sixth grade. And the first day, the students are really reluctant and they're kind of nervous. But after the first couple days, they are brand new kids. And a lot of that I would attribute to getting away from the phone, getting away from the iPad, and just kind of embracing this collaborative learning outside. It's very structured. The people there are so accommodating. We've had numerous students with many different challenges, and they've accommodated every single need that we've asked for. And it's just amazing. And the teachers, they sacrifice themselves the whole week, sleeping in bunks with the kids and staying up late and making sure they brush their teeth and take a shower and get ready for breakfast in the morning. So the teachers are just amazing, and everybody comes back in the sixth grade, teachers and students alike, with just a sense of community and a deeper sense of that middle school experience. And I think it really, people that I talk to, a lot of the parents who have been and then went through Beverly, they say, oh, I remember Nature's Classroom, I remember the ORT report, I remember, all the wonderful things, the night sing. So it's really a game changer for us. And it, it shapes their middle school experience. So if you want to continue a couple slides ahead, we have field group, we have elective classes, evening activities. If you go to the sample 5-day program, it's very structured. Every day we get up, we have breakfast, the students serve each other breakfast, they have special roles that they do. They also have to clean everything up, and we talk about the importance of recycling and making sure we know how much food waste goes on. We have field groups, and then they have free time. We have lunch, a little more free time, and then they also offer special interest classes. One of the most popular ones, they dissect a shark. That's always pretty fun. They go dig a hole 2 years ago, when they did a dig a hole special interest class, we found a Native American arrowhead that was ancient. So that was really cool. Salamanders, of course, are out in April and May when we go to, so that's always fun for the students. But it's a very structured day. I will tell you, by Wednesday night, they are exhausted and they are putting themselves to bed. So it's an amazing program that they have set up for us, and that's basically right there what a sample day looks like, and it really hasn't changed since we've been. If we kind of continue to the next slide. So students who don't attend, last year we had about 235 students attend, and there was about 100 or so students last year that stayed back. There are many teachers that stay back too. We planned Curious Creatures. We do a crane estate field trip. We went to the movies, and then we do a lot of collaborative learning. We intermingle with different teams. So there's a lot of fun stuff happening too back at BMS as well. So that's important to recognize. And then our costs. So our costs go up, and they have been going up every single year. This year, currently, it's $479. That's what Nature's Classroom charges us. Last year, we had nearly 230 students participate. This sixth grade class is way bigger than last year's class. We have 366 kids right now. We could get more. So our motto is that anyone who wants to go can go. We have, last year, I asked for a price of $420. I would like to see a modest increase. I think the number of $450, maybe not the $479 that they charge us, the $450 ask, even though it is a lot of money. That covers, so last year I had about 40 students on scholarship, and that was of a class of 330 or so. I expect, right now, I did a pre-registration. There's 202 families that said, yes, I intend on going. Out of those 202 families, and it's just very early, that's just a pre-registration numbers. Out of those 202 families, I have about 40 families that would be in need of financial assistance. So with a bigger class, I think we're gonna have bigger needs, and we wanna make sure that anyone who wants to go can go. And sometimes students, a lot of them change their mind once we're getting ready to go. And of course, if they want to go, we're allowing them to go. So last year I asked for $420. I think this year I'd like to see the price go to $450, if that would be okay. Our fundraising has been and is robust. If you go to the next slide, that's with the help of our teachers. I know Mr. Melanson and Mr. Collins are sitting in front of you. They helped me last year in grade 6, especially Mr. Melanson. He's done it for many years. Our Halloween Boo Bash, we raised $11,000. We have a direct donation campaign. Right now, we also have penny wars going on. Our bingo nights have been very, very, very popular, and that's raised thousands of dollars too. Our spring fling dance. We've had a Boston sports raffle in the past too. That's been amazing. And then Winter Waffle Land has been huge. And that's also a lot of our fundraising too for Nature's Classroom. Also our community events as well. And that brings the community in. One of my favorite nights was bingo night, because we have a lot of the grandparents come in and play, with their grandchildren. That's just so amazing to see. So we're reaching out to everybody. So our fundraising is robust. We had money left over from 2 years ago, which helped us last year. We do have some money, I think, left over from last year to help us this year. And it's really game changing for the middle school. These are just some quotes that I had in there from students who have gone in the past. I'll read the last one. It says, before going to Nature's Classroom, I was reserved, a little bit shy. However, during the trip, I learned to take chances, be myself, and strengthen bonds with friends and people that I haven't been as close with before. I believe that every student should have the opportunity to attend, because we'll help them both school and life while creating unforgettable memories. And we do see that change of students. They come out of their shell. A lot of the students who have troubles staying in their seat in class, this is an opportunity where they have a lot of hands-on activities, and they're really learning by doing. So it appeals to all learners, really. So I'm asking the school committee, like I have for the past few years, if you would allow us, if I could take the 6th grade with the help of the teachers. I know I met with Dr. Cushing the other day. He said he's in for a night at least. Dr. Cushing, I put you on the spot. That would be amazing. But I would like to take the 6th grade again with the help of the teachers and admin. That's okay.
So Dr. Cushing, it sounds like you are recommending the school committee approve this overnight field trip.
Absolutely, and what's great is it's a Massachusetts trip, so we have fewer concerns about nursing coverage.
So moved.
Okay, Mayor Cahill has made the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Robinson. Do we have any questions or discussion? I'm looking for hands. Oh, Ms. Coelho.
So in the past with the nature's classroom, because this will be kid number 3 this year for me to go. And this kid number 3, is he going to be able to beat you in Gaga Ball again?
Oh,
Listen, that's
no
been,
way.
listen, that's my kid's favorite memory is beating Mr. Melanson in Gaga Ball. And then the Ort Report. They always sent out a Google link so we could get the updated pictures of what our kids were doing every day, or little video clips. Are they going to do that again? Because I'm sure
Yeah,
parents would like to know, or parents that don't have kids that have gone, they might want to be interested in that.
Yeah, we do that. We have a running tally. I give a daily report in the morning and sometimes in the afternoon as well. So parents, it's really tough on the parents too. I will be honest with you. The kids like to go, but the parents have a tough time to have their little kiddo stay for a week. But there's a running Google Photos that every teacher who's there can take pictures and they can see all the kids in action kind of in real time. And then I give a report every day. So that's kind of fun.
I think Ms. Robinson and I are lamenting the fact our seniors didn't have the chance to go. Thank you, COVID. Or my junior, actually, she didn't go either. But it sounds like a fantastic trip. Are there any other questions or comments before I call the roll? So we have a motion to approve an overnight field trip to Nature's Classroom for our 6th graders. Mayor Cahill.
Yes.
Kim Coelho.
Yes.
Karen Robinson.
Yes.
Jeffrey Silva.
Yes.
Lorinda Visnick.
Yes.
And Rachel Abel, yes. It passes 6-0. Enjoy your trip. Let us know how we can support that fundraising. I think it's super important. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
I think I see Mr. Souza in the background there. Yeah? Miss Farrell?
So at this time, turned it off, not on. At this time, we are looking for approval of an overnight field trip, again, in-state, wonderful, for Model United Nations Conference at Cambridge at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology.
Our fair city.
So moved.
Oh,
Thank you. Okay, so good evening. I'm Allison Farrell,
Brandon Souza.
and we are looking to take our Model UN delegates down to MIT in February. If you want to go to the next slide. So these are pictures from at the top. We just got back from University of Connecticut this past weekend, so that is an image from the past our conference there. And actually below, and I forgot to include these, our previous overnight trip when we went down to New York City. Thank you for approving that. These were just 2 images from that I forgot to include. We were able to meet with the actual representatives from the country of Slovenia, which is what all the students were assigned to research. So we got to meet with them, and they got to do some Q&A leading like within the conference, so they were able to actually ask the questions about what is Slovenia's perspective on their various committee topics. And then we also were pleasantly surprised in person. Former President Biden actually came for a fireside chat, so that was from the audience, which was like they really raised the bar in regards to experience. We're like, oh, he's probably going to zoom in. No, he was there in person, and I was just getting history goose pimples of just I'm the president. Yeah, so it was a really, really cool experience. And sorry I didn't share those earlier. And then while we were away this weekend, we were trying to poll students on why do they enjoy these conferences. Like we were getting up at 6:30 in the morning on a Saturday and getting back to the hotel at, like 11 o'clock at night. And there were long days and they did such a great job. But some of the things, just to kind of sum up what they, had discussed, that they really enjoy learning about these issues. They're, tangible topics that are important that, in real moment situations that they're able to look up. Certain committees, but then also they like to meet students from other districts too. So they're always, bumping into each other at various conferences from even not just in Massachusetts, but out of state. So they get to kind of make connections with students from outside of Beverly. And then also just the experiences are invaluable. Hence why those pictures are, they wanted to include those as well. So itinerary. So the MIT, they haven't posted the committee, they haven't posted the committees yet, but the theme is going to be around inclusion, innovation, and international cooperation. So those are some images from the conference that was attended last year. We had one delegate with I think it was a Best Delegate Award. I can't recall.
Was, yes.
Yeah, Best Delegate Award. So yeah, so it was just nice to see that. It was actually one of our seniors who graduated last year too. So it was nice to see her kind of end her career in Model UN with an award as well. So those committees will be posted in December, but the themes will be around those three components. And then the itinerary on the next, so this will be Friday through Sunday. So we're hoping to depart, we'll have the students meet us at the Beverly Depot Friday morning and then return late Sunday afternoon or evening. We're going to use the greatest transportation in the world, the Red Line and the commuter rail. And so we'll go, to and from MIT campus. And then we actually were trying to figure out how to incorporate an activity on Friday morning. So we have a couple of ideas. Our first goal is we would like to visit the JFK Presidential Library to kind of fill in the morning because registration's not until the afternoon. They have a couple of guided programs that kind of align with international diplomacy. They are in the midst of the government shutdown, so hoping to hear back from them soon. If they are not open in February, we have a backup and a backup to the backup. We're hoping to either go to the Maparium at the Mary Baker at Emu Library, where the map, the globe, it's the 3-story globe, and it's made using 1935 political maps. So we thought it would be kind of like like an eye of the tiger, like you get pumped up for Model UN conference, looking at all these different how years have changed. Sorry, it's been a long day. I apologize. Thought I was being funny. So if that doesn't work out, we could also go to the Edward M. Kennedy Institute. They're open. So a couple of options if the library doesn't work out. Other than that, everything is in close proximity to one another. So we'll stay at the Marriott in Kendall Square. The committees are held right around the corner. So if the image below is actually from last year with, we were surprised by a fun snowstorm. It wasn't bad, but everything's within walking distance, and Cambridge is very intense with their snow removal program. So it was, easy walking, but just kind of nice snow-covered, environment to wake up to the next day. So I think that's it.
Okay.
Yep, that's it. And I welcome
And
any. Or we
Dr.
welcome any
Cushing, do we have your enthusiastic support for this overnight field trip?
Without a doubt, Model UN, being a former delegate myself, representing Somalia at the Georgetown Model UN, these are really amazing experiences for students, and I'm really excited that we went to UConn last week, but that we are taking our kids to yet another conference. So yes.
Okay, and Mayor Cahill, I think you want to make the motion for this approval?
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Robinson. We have a motion and a second. Are there any questions or comments?
Ms. Abel,
Yes, Ms. Visnick. Oh, there's your hand.
are we taking a nurse?
So to my knowledge, I'll have to double check with the nursing staff. I usually run the roster. The last I did talk to them, they said that if, I think, now you have to probably not, hopefully not garbling it up, but I believe the law in Massachusetts changed so that if a student does need medicine to be administered by someone else, that the nurse can train me on that, so I know how to respond accordingly. Hopefully.
Are there any other questions or comments? Okay, I will call the roll. Mayor Cahill,
Yes.
Kim Coelho,
Yes.
Karen Robinson.
Yes.
Jeffrey Silva.
Yes.
Lorinda Visnick.
Yes.
And Rachel Abel. Enjoy your trip.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry, I went out of order with my superintendent report.
That's all right. Do you have more on your superintendent report?
I have the
or-
career technical education and the district bully policy, but
Okay.
I skipped to C and went out of order, so I apologize.
No worries.
All right, so the career technical education, CTE awareness and planning, for families and community members who may not be aware, admission to regional vocational technical schools has become exceptionally competitive in the past 10 to 15 years. As a former middle school principal, I would frequently see students jockeying to get in as they would an elite private prep school. The programs are simply phenomenal. They offer a lot of hands-on experiences for students. Most of the regional technical schools offer an A week, B week, where the A week is a student's academics and the B week is their shop week, and vice versa for those students who are off. So they'll be in their courses for English, math, science, other electives 1 week, and then they will be fully immersed in their shop the second week. Many city schools many school programs across the Commonwealth who have self-contained programs as part of their district's CTE offerings and are not part of a region, really have abandoned this model, but it is the best model to be able to make sure that students are getting the required hours. It's about 950 hours, if I remember correctly, of CTE programming before a student graduates. The state has been made aware and is concerned about the admissions practices of CTE programs and how selective they have become. One of the things that the state has done is to institute a lottery for these schools. So whereas before those programs would look at a student's discipline, a student's attendance, their grades, an interview that was done, and I'm blanking on the fifth. Now, much of that really can't be taken into consideration. I had students who may have had a detention and they were knocked down 20 points out of 100 for their discipline in the district that I worked in previously with the regional school district. So, and they would look back over their 7th and 8th grade academic career. So a student who may have made a bad choice in the fall of their 7th grade year, that might haunt them for years and years to come. As part of the Commonwealth's career technical education, they've required schools and districts to establish policies. First, high schools, districts, regional school districts, or school districts who have career technical education programs. They have really made them put in policies surrounding admission, recruitment, and things like that. They have also required all sending districts, which Beverly is a sending district, and I want, for one, support as much CTE bring back as possible because they're just phenomenal programs. Career exploration and career and technical education awareness and planning is now going to be part starting next year of our middle school experience for students. So this policy that we're putting before you tonight for a first read, first vote, career exploration and planning in the Beverly Public Schools. Beverly Public Schools provides an extensive array of learning experiences that prepare students for success after graduation. Part of that is the MyCap that has a structured approach for students to reflect on their interests and strengths and aspirations as they begin to consider future pathways. And then high school pathway opportunities. We specifically reference Essex North Shore Agricultural and Technical High School. But we also, I apologize, I got distracted. In our 8th grade, for our 8th grade students that are eligible to apply for that program. We also have pathways at the high school, at Beverly High School. We don't specifically call that out here because that's really not what DESE is looking for. So middle school career exploration in 8th grade, Beverly Middle School students engage in career and educational self-assessments as part of the MyCap, and activities help students identify their academic and personal interests and may include participation in a CTE program. Collaboration with the member schools is information sharing. One thing we have to do is make sure that everybody in the district knows that they have the opportunity to opt out. Directory information can be requested by anyone at any time, and families should know that they have the opportunity to opt out on that. School tours. So transportation is provided by Essex North Shore, and any tours that occur during the school day do not affect the students' attendance. Event promotion, online resources, and admissions records sharing with them, and then record maintenance. I may have one update to this that may not have made it into this copy for next week, but as a first reading, this is a great first start for the committee to consider for this mandated DESE policy.
Thank you, Dr. Cushing. Are there any questions or concerns at this first reading? I'm not seeing any. Thank you. We look forward to this next week.
All right. And finally, I had presented and have sent the red line copy to all members of the district bullying policy revision in light of the things that the committee heard earlier this evening. It seems very, it seems like a paramount policy to take under consideration and review or motion to approve as you see fit.
And for clarification, this is in our student section of our policy manual. We're referring to the bullying prevention policy, which is letters J, I, C, F, B.
Yes.
This is our second reading, and Mayor Cahill, you're making a motion for approval as marked. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Coelho. Do we have any discussion or concerns about the markings? Mayor Cahill.
Just a question. The bullying definition, where does that come from?
That comes from both state law and as reviewed by legal counsel, what is being accepted by DESE.
Okay. Because I get the word repeated, but I wonder if it's necessary to repeat something for it to be bullying. But if that word's there by definition, then I guess we're not changing a definition as we sit here.
Ms. Robinson.
Every definition I've ever seen of bullying included the word repeated. Yeah.
Yeah, in the corporate world, it also has to be repetitive more than once.
So I want to share with the committee that I was always under the impression, because the bullying is connected through the criminal harassment law, and for criminal harassment to take effect, it has to be 3 instances, to the point where a previous policy that I had helped edit was actually rejected by DESE for stating the 3. DESE actually says there is no number to be repeated. So just so the community is aware of that, I was a little surprised myself. But the repeated, it can be the second time to be qualified as bullying. And we do have a hand online.
Ms. Visnick.
Thank you. I actually sat in on a session on that very topic today, and they said what you just said, Dr. Cushing. It does not have to be 3 times, nor should we subject a child to, nor should a child have to be subjected to multiple violations in order for something to take place. So that's just a statement. I'm sure all the materials from that session are going to be available via MASC, MASS, if they're not already. But in general, I raised my hand because I have a question, and my question is around the kind of like the balance in between trying to take action against a child that has been the perpetrator and our attempt to practice restorative practices. In the sense that, especially from an optics point of view, if you're the parent of a child that has been a victim, you probably want to see you want to see the other child perhaps get suspended or expelled from school. But we don't, there's privacy issues there. And we know that restorative practices work. So I just want to know if you can try to speak to that in some way, because I think that again, parents of children who are victims don't want to hear any part of that. And so I think it's important that we be forthcoming, try to explain that to everybody.
Thank you, Member Visnick. So students, the perpetrator, the student's discipline record is a matter of privacy under FERPA, Federal Education Rights Privacy Act, and that cannot be shared verbally or in writing with any other person who is not authorized by the parents or is listed as a caregiver parent. So I understand where a lot of parents come from. In my experience, I've oftentimes given the menu of things that may occur for a student, but the restorative practices thing, simply suspending a student or excluding a student, does nothing to help educate the student as to the course of the behavior. Now, that being said, retaliation and repeated instances of bullying after it has been initially addressed and restorative practice has been tried may require referral to juvenile court and an escalation into criminal harassment and other means to protect a student. It may warrant a filing of a 51A and, to bring in other resources to help protect the student depending on the response of the aggressor's parents or caregivers. Unfortunately, bullying is sometimes extraordinarily difficult to prove because of the inability for schools and leaders to be able to access online digital forums where things may be happening, which is why we always ask parents and students to screen capture and to make sure that they are providing us with the support and evidence that we need to do our due diligence. But again, the aggressors' disciplinary supports or disciplinary I'm having a hard time with the word right now. Disciplinary actions taken against that student cannot be shared with the other parent. Now, having sat across from parents for many years in discussing this, that tends to be an enraging fact for a lot of people, and I can understand that. Because, when your child has been harmed, you want to make sure that the other child has been many times dealt with. Unfortunately, dealing with a child is not just throwing them out of school. It is not being punitive and is not removing them. It is providing for their education to be better. So.
And I should have said at the outset, Dr. Kenan McKenzie and Ms. Lauren Visnick are at the MASC conference as delegates to this body. That's why they're not here with us in person. And Ms. Visnick, you're missing an opportunity for a hard copy that was provided to us for the bullying prevention and intervention plan that very well demonstrates some of the additions that have been made to the plan that specifically speak to strategies for providing counseling and referrals as appropriate services to both the aggressor and targets and their appropriate family members. So there is a little bit more detail in the intervention plan that we were provided in our packet here in person, and that will be part of the packet online. So apologies that you don't have the full scope of what we're looking at right now.
I also respect if, given the two members are not present in person, if the committee would like to table this for next week. I don't have a,
I think that's a good point. If we're going to have everybody here next week.
I don't believe we will have everyone here next week either.
Okay.
So we do have 6 members, and I think for the interest of our students to have the updated policy is important.
And she's,
Ms. Visnick.
I was just gonna say, I'm okay, just hearing your lovely voice say that, I'm fine with voting this evening.
I think we have 6 tonight.
Let's vote.
That's pretty close to full.
go to the
Okay,
next item.
so we have a motion and a second from Mayor Cahill and Ms. Coelho to adopt as revised the JICFB. Do we have any more questions or concerns? I will call the roll. Mayor Cahill?
yes.
Kim Coelho?
Yes.
Karen Robinson?
Yes.
Jeffrey Silva?
Yes.
Lorinda Visnick?
Yes?
And Rachel Abel. That's 6-0 at 9:10 p.m. So we will update our website with this version going forward. Thank you.
and thank you.
Okay. For the school committee chair's report, we do have some policies we looked at our last meeting that are here now for our second reading. And before we delve into these items, which are from policy CHD, CL, CM, and GA, these are related to administration in the absence of policy, research and administrative reports, school committee district annual reports, and personnel policy goals. I was having some questions in my mind that maybe Dr. Cushing could give us maybe his considerations before we make any motions to move these forward. We were presented with CHD, which is administration in policy absence, and this in particular has an extra sentence that is for the BPS version versus the sample, which is from MASC. And I wanted to ask Dr. Cushing on this one if he believed keeping the Beverly language as written would serve the district well. And the language that's added to the MASC sample is, it is the superintendent's duty to inform the school committee of any such action and of the need for an official policy. So basically, this policy is what happens when there's no policy. And so when an action must be taken within the school system where the school committee has provided no guidelines for administration, the superintendent will have the power to act. The superintendent's decision, however, will be subject to review by the school committee. And for Beverly, we added that informing the school committee would be necessary if such action had been taken.
Yeah, I actually have
Fair?
no issue with that. I appreciate it, but I will say that even if it weren't there, I would
Do it
relish
anyway.
recommending policy. The only edit I would make, and this is my high school senior English teacher speaking through right now, is to remove the word "it" and just say the superintendent will inform. But if that requires multiple readings, then just leave it as is. But I'm okay with it as is and okay.
I would encourage a motion to approve as reviewed. Is that all right? Okay, so I'm going to make the motion to review, mark as reviewed.
Second.
And Ms. Robinson is second. Is there any further discussion on CHD? I'll call the roll. Mayor Cahill?
Yes.
Kim Coelho?
Yes.
Karen Robinson?
Yes.
Jeffrey Silva?
Yes.
Lorinda Visnick?
Yes?
And Rachel Abel, yes, 6-0 at 9:13 p.m. The next is kind of a twofer. I think policy CL, which is administrative reports, and policy GA, which is personnel policy goals, these are both opportunities that the committee could potentially vote to remove these from policy since they're no longer part of the MASC samples. However, do these existing policies for Beverly provide tools in your toolbox, Dr. Cushing? Administrative reports is that a statement about the fact that the superintendent should provide reports about the conditions and efficiencies and needs of the schools and to make the records available. There's many aspects of Mass General Law that already cover these, but CL and GA. GA is about personnel policy goals, and that is about developing and implementing strategies and procedures for personnel recruitment. Many districts have still kept these on their books in their policies. MASC has, however, dropped them from their sample.
I have no issue with them being maintained.
Maintained, okay. So could I ask, actually, I can make a motion, I guess. I'll make a motion that the body mark has reviewed both CL and GA.
Second.
Is there any conversation, discussion, or questions? I'll call the roll. Mayor Cahill?
Yes.
Kim Coelho?
Yes.
Karen Robinson?
Yes.
Jeffrey Silva?
Yes.
Lorinda Visnick? Lorinda, you're on mute.
I lost my Zoom window, sorry, reading the policy. I vote yes.
Okay, and Rachel Abel, yes. At 9:15, we will mark both of those policies as reviewed. And our final policy for second reading this evening in this section of the report is Policy CM. This is related to the school district annual report. There was a note about an additional provision that is only applicable to regional school districts. So at this point in time, that would not be entertained by this body since we are a municipality. But there's one edit to include the word caregivers alongside parents and guardians. Seems like this one is one to approve with that minor edit.
Yeah, I also just want to say that this is actually part of the marketing plan that I see for the school district to let not only our guardians, caregivers, students, and staff know what's going on, but for it to be a resource available. I've collected some from across the country, and basically kind of an annual report for us to model ours after. So it's not just for the Commissioner of Education. I find that interesting that that's in there. But to make sure that we are communicating well in a succinct manner in one central location.
Great. The chair will make a motion to approve with the addition of caregivers.
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Robinson. Any discussion or concerns? Mayor Cahill.
I want to understand, we're adding the word caregivers in red, but all these other words in red below, we're getting rid of.
Yeah, that was just for reference. MASC had provided additional provisions for regional school districts, which operate a little differently.
Understood, but it just, all those words are leaving the page.
Yes.
Okay.
I've already stricken them on my page. Ms. Bergeron. Yes, thank you. Any other questions? Okay, I will call the roll. Mayor Cahill?
Yes.
Kim Coelho?
Yes.
Karen Robinson?
Yes.
Jeff Silva?
Yes.
Lorinda Visnick?
Yes.
And Rachel Abel, yes. Time is 9:17 p.m. We will make that update on the district policy. Next on the agenda, I just wanted to mention some upcoming dates. First and foremost, we actually start our financial forecasting work with our city council partners tomorrow evening. For tomorrow's meeting, the currently designated school committee members of Dr. Jeffrey Silva and Ms. Lorinda Visnick will be representing the school committee, along with our resident representative, Dominic Copeland. However, the chair would like to appoint, starting at the next meeting, which is December 2nd, and then the 9th, and any continuous meetings past that, Ms. Karen Robinson will be the alternate appointee due to conflicts with some members. And so I appreciate your service, and I'm sure it will be fun getting up to speed. Thank you, Dr. Silva, for continuing your service through this activity, and I'm sure that it will be a really hard conversation to undertake, and look forward to the report coming out. As Mayor Cahill, Mayor Cahill?
Do you mind if I add to that?
Sure.
So the financial forecasting process is required by the city's charter, and it takes place every year, and it consists of city council, school committee appointments, resident appointments, the finance teams from city, school, and then the budget analysts for the city council all participate. And it's a really important set of information that's shared in conversations and looking ahead at the next year's budget and forecasting out several years, process that's undertaken every year. And so anybody who's interested, and I know there's been a lot more interest over the last year plus than maybe there had been, in really understanding that kind of under the hood. That's always a public process, but I think now there's more real interest in fully understanding, more deeply understanding how things work. Anybody who can't be there tomorrow night, BevCam will be broadcasting, and it'll be available to watch after the fact. And I think that's an important resource that BevCam will be there, because people will be able to not only come in person, watch live, but watch afterwards, and that resource will then be up on BevCam. We'll make sure we get it up on the city website as well. And I just think it's a critical process for everybody who is interested in how we move forward, trying to get on top of just how it all comes together.
I think I saw the agenda posting for conference room A, so BevCam might be the most comfortable solution.
It's supposed to be in the council chambers.
It's going to move to council chambers.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's supposed to be taking place in the council chambers, so it's easiest to film.
Easiest to film. Okay, great. Okay, thank you. Okay, so we have that clear. Ms. Visnick will continue tomorrow night, and then Ms. Robinson, you'll step in on the committee's behalf. Thank you. We also have next week our committee of the whole meeting. We will be joined by Senator Joan Lovely and Representative Hannah Bowen. I intend to put them first on our agenda so that we make the best use of their time. They'll be here to speak to some of the topics that we initially requested about our state funding prospects. We should also note that the opportunity to sign up for the public conversation about Chapter 70 will be next Thursday, and you do need to pre-register. I know that Dr. Cushing put in a plug at our last meeting for that. I think that he put it in the community update. And if anyone listening on BevCam or is here in the audience that needs that link, you can ask me. I will send it to you. It's going to be a really important piece of the conversation moving forward. And then beyond that, we will have 2 additional meetings in December. Much like November, due to holidays and schedules, they will be back-to-back meetings as well. On the 12th and 19th, I believe those are the dates. November, oh yeah, 12th and 19th, okay, yeah, so what are the next ones? 10th and 17th, thank you. The year is flying by. Ms. Visnick, our next item on the agenda is the Standing Committee Report for Finance and Facility. Do you need any assistance in the room, or are you?
If you think that any given item that was in our packets needs to be displayed, then I would love for you to do that display.
Oh, I'm not sure I can do that, but if you.
Yeah, I don't think anything, I think everything's in the packet and it's all on the agenda. So the Standing Committee on Finance and Facilities last met on October 22nd. And we're bringing forward a number of items. The first thing we're bringing forward is policy FJ, Foxtrot, Jumping Jacks. I don't
Juliet.
know. Steve Crowley's gonna yell at me. Which is about renovations or improvements to schools or school sites by non-district parties. So this is just the first reading, but I am going to put in a little plug here. I think people should open it up and take a look at it. This policy is our own, and it was inspired a number of years ago. Some non-district personnel, excuse my voice, please. Some non-district personnel did some updates to some school property. It may in fact have been some booster groups, and so we don't want that. We don't want that to happen, and so this policy addresses that scenario. Again, it's here this evening as a first reading. Standing Committee on Finance and Facilities brings forward, excuse me, gifts to school totaling $250 from the month of September. It is our recommendation that we accept these gifts to schools.
I will make a motion to accept with gratitude for the Hannah Elementary School, $250.
A second.
Thank you, Ms. Coelho. Any questions or concerns? Mayor Cahill, I'm calling the roll. Mayor Cahill?
Yes.
Kim Coelho?
Yes.
Karen Robinson?
Yes.
Jeffrey Silva?
Yes.
Lorinda Visnick?
Yes.
Rachel Abel, 60924.
In your packet, there are two different budget transfers, and the Standing Committee on Finance and Facilities recommends the approval of both of these budget transfers, number 1042 and 1043. That is my motion.
Thank you, Ms. Visnick. I'll second for convenience. Are there any questions? Call the roll. Mayor Cahill?
Yes.
Kim Coelho?
Yes.
Karen Robinson?
Yes.
Jeffrey Silva? Lorinda Visnick?
Yes.
Rachel Abel, 60925.
Standing Committee on Finance and Facilities recommends the approval of the following student activity accounts: Beverly High School GSA, World Language Account. I should have said before I started this one, I apologize. We have a policy that says that every year when accounts come and go, we'll do our best to stay current and bring every single one forward at the point in time when it is applicable. So we're doing our best to follow our own policy here and update our student activity accounts to be accurate.
I will formally make the motion for both accounts, BHS GSA and World Language Account.
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Robinson. Are there any questions or concerns from the committee? I'll call the roll. Mayor Cahill?
Yes.
Kim Coelho?
Yes.
Karen Robinson?
Yes.
Jeffrey Silva?
Yes.
Lorinda Visnick?
Yes.
And Rachel Abel, 60926 p.m.
Thank you. The Standing Committee on Finance and Facilities recommends the approval of the attached grants for approval, and the total of these grants is $26,500.
I'll make a motion to approve the Northeast Network STEM Week for the amount of $1,000 and the Massachusetts Life Sciences Center MLSC STEM Equipment Grant for $25,500, totaling $26,500.
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Coelho. Are there any questions or concerns about the grant's acceptance? I'll call the roll. Mayor Cahill?
Yes.
Kim Coelho?
Yes.
Karen Robinson?
Yes.
Jeffrey Silva?
Yes.
Lorinda Visnick?
Yes.
And Rachel Abel. That's 6-0 at 9:27 p.m.
And our committee is next scheduled to meet 1 week from today.
Great. As mentioned previously, Dr. Kenan McKenzie, our Chair of Curriculum, Instruction, and Student Life, is attending the MASC conference and the keynote speech tonight. We do have in our packets for a first reading from the CISL Standing Committee 3 policies. The CISL Committee did not have a quorum this evening and did not meet, so we have addressed one of the agenda items with Dr. Cushing on his report, and we will look forward to our meeting next month. The 3 policies that need the school committee's attention are IHBA, which is the Program for Students with Disabilities, IHAMB, Teaching about Alcohol, Tobacco, and Drugs, and IHBAA, Observations of Special Education Programs. Again, this is the first reading, Encourage any members that have questions between now and our meeting next week, reach out to the superintendent or perhaps Miss Bethany Splansky in our special ed department if there's any questions about the policies as presented. Next on our agenda is the negotiating subcommittee report. As chair to this committee and that subcommittee, I will report that we last met on October 27th with BTA unit members from A and C. We do have some homework yet to complete based on that meeting, and we will need to meet again before too long, not too long from now, but that time and date has not yet been determined. Ms. Visnick, do you have anything to report for the Policy Review Subcommittee?
Not at this time, no.
Okay. Next on our agenda is an opportunity for members of the school committee to bring forth communications, anything that needs to be laid to the table. I would just echo our student representatives report earlier. There's a number of opportunities to enjoy the fruits of our students' progress and projects, including Pride and Prejudice, which will be at the high school. I'm sure tickets will become available soon. I also noticed our calendar is filling up with a number of performances from our musical and performing arts groups at the middle and high school level, and I have an insider scoop that the middle school musical is coming along fabulously. It's a repertoire of all kinds of Disney music, so keep a lookout for those ticket opportunities. Make sure that you mark the dates on your calendar. They are not to be missed. And with that, the chair is now going to make a motion that we vote to meet in executive session pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A, for the following purpose, which is purpose number 3. Purpose number 3 is to discuss strategy with respect to and in preparation for collective bargaining with the Beverly Teachers Association Units A, B, and C, AFSCME Local 2894, the AFSA, which is the group formerly known as Unit B, and any individual contracts, because an open discussion may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining position of the committee, and not to return to open session. May I have a second for that motion?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Coelho. I will call the roll. Mayor Cahill?
Yes.
Kim Coelho?
Yes.
Karen Robinson?
Yes.
Jeffrey Silva?
Yes.
Lorinda Visnick?
Yes.
And Rachel Abel, 6-0. The time is 9:31 p.m. The chair will restate for the record that we have moved to go into executive session and not to return to open session. This is pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A, for the following purpose 3. Purpose to discuss strategy with respect to and in preparation for collective bargaining with Beverly Teachers Association Unit A, B, and C, AFSCME Local 2894, AFSA, and individual contracts, because an open discussion may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining position of the committee. Thank you so much, BevCam. Thank you for everyone who stuck with us here in person, and we look forward to seeing you again next week.